Hey, hey, what is shaking, everybody? I think we're live. The button says we went live. How's everybody doing? Thanks for hanging out with us. We are a few minutes late, but I'm told that Chance is regularly. Can you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Okay, good. I always forget because I have the YouTube stream pulled up and then I start talking back to myself, and I don't know if you guys can hear the echo or not. So, okay, we're good. But anyways, what's everybody? What's up, AZ? What's up, Cesar? Who might or might not be here. Argentina is playing, so we might not see him until later. But anyway, welcome everyone to the Surface and Always live stream. I am Jason, and we are here. We're exclusive to YouTube today. But we are multicasting over on the Spins Vinyl channel and on the Concert Buddy channel. And so wherever you are, whenever you are, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. We're going to have a good time tonight. We got some really cool topics. We have a very intimate crew. Let me introduce the intimate crew first. We got Arnaldo that way. What's up, Arnaldo? How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Jason?
It's going good.
Hello, everybody on the stream, and hello everyone home or on their cell phones or in the car. I know a lot of people actually tune into live streams while they're driving. So hello to everybody.
Yeah, that's cool. I got this thing that said that from YouTube that said I get X percentage of people watching on a television set. And then I'm like, oh my God, I hope I didn't have any a booger or anything going on that day. And then we got VC Deep Thought, Jason Rojas down below. What's up, dude?
Thank you, Jason Spins Vinyl. I have a little cold, so just bear with me. If I sound rough, well, there you go. It'll be as rough as we can get it.
So you saying we might get some clicks and pops today?
Well, I'll try to mute myself.
We're going to try to cheer you up today, man. I appreciate you being here, even under the weather. We got some cool topics to get into today. We got 3 topics in all. We're going to kick it off with the future of physical media and sort of, debating the longevity. The elephant in the room, the topic no one really wants to get honest about, but how long are we going to ride this wave? Predictions going forward for the next decade of vinyl. And I've heard, I may have even done a few videos myself that they're even going to start grading vinyl, and they have started grading vinyl. And so I want to talk about that too and see whether that's something that's going to boost the vinyl community or take it to its knees. We'll find out. And then second topic, what is the second topic? We want to talk about, post-pandemic. Or it started out as being post-pandemic, the vinyl community post-pandemic, but maybe it's even post-record store day. But we can get into that too. And then at the very end for the freestyle, I think we're going to try to show off some records for you guys. And we're going to get into when you're in a certain kind of mood, you got to go to a certain piece of vinyl. And so maybe we'll show off some of that stuff depending on what our moods are. We got Fidelio, what's happening to do? We got John Brady. We got my own devices audio channel, June's Music Corner, John Bandy. Thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate you guys. What's up, Wyoming Dave? So let me get it queued up here. Let me get the banner rolling. Boom. Future of physical media. A simple question. Is there a simple answer? What do you guys think? I think, there's all this, maybe CDs are going to come back, or they have started to come back. Are they going to start getting some real traction? Are CDs ever going to go like this while vinyl goes like that? What do you guys think? No?
No, I don't think CDs are coming back.
Okay.
I think they're on a decline.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Decline. Okay.
Because,
there is a 30-year backslide, right?
Right now, I think if you go to the big retailers, like the big box retailers like Walmart, Best Buy, and Target, I think CDs have less physical real estate than vinyl does in those stores.
Yep.
They're both shrinking, and they're only carrying usually frontline, like very new releases. But forget about deep catalog. I think Amazon is probably the only retailer that you can go, and if you want a CD from 1985, you'll probably be able to still buy it on there. Otherwise, good luck. I mean, even my Barnes and Noble was kind of like the place where you would go for a deep catalog, and they do still have quite a bit, and most of it is actually mid-price. But yeah, except for the display when you go in, like the end cap, where you have all the new releases, you'll have both formats, CD and vinyl. I find that the vinyl section is growing, is getting bigger, and the CD section is getting smaller. And
Is there something about here? I want to let my own devices chime in on this. He's saying, don't agree. The high price of some vinyl makes me choose CD sometimes. So yeah, I mean, if you just want some music, you know, to put some physical media, sometimes vinyl can be a little, there's a barrier to entry sometimes, right? And also, is it more confusing for some listeners that there's all these pressings and stuff? And but it kind of goes both ways, because on the one hand, it's sort of like there's no like CD box sets coming out right now, or special remasters and all this stuff. MoFi, you correct me if I'm wrong, are they producing, you know, CDs and stuff like that? So it's kind of like
they're only producing audiophile CDs, just super audio CDs.
Okay.
But to your point, you mentioned box sets. Actually, maybe is the only market where CDs are still keeping pace with the vinyl. So, for example, I'm actually waiting for it to be shipped. David Bowie released not David Bowie, but his there was a new David Bowie box set, kind of like a reinterpretation of Ziggy Stardust, a lot of demos and alternate takes and leading up to it, kind of like the chronology of the making of Ziggy Stardust. And they only came out, and I'll show you this, with the a reduced one LP version, and it's called Rock and Roll Star. It's actually really nicely done. As you can see, it's like silver finish.
Yeah.
But the full shebang is the CD format, and it comes with a beautiful book, and I think it has 5 CDs. And even the previous release that they did in the series also had a bigger CD box set than vinyl box set. And I'm looking at that because that's really only going to interest hardcore fans. I mean, I don't know how many times you want to hear demos and alternate takes of pretty much the same 10 or 12 songs. And
when I was younger, I used to love that stuff. Not so much anymore.
But I do too. For my favorite artists, I do too.
Yeah.
But I think that producing it on vinyl, one, may be very cost prohibitive. Because if you look at, for example, the Prince box sets, both like the Sign of the Times and the recent one, Diamonds and Pearls, they're like 10 or 12 LP box sets. And they're very, very expensive to produce versus the CD version, which is a lot easier, a lot less headaches if there's mistakes in the production, a lot less disgruntled customers, because on 12 discs vinyl, I mean, I get lucky most of the time where like there's not all 12 of them are perfect, right? Because returning a huge box set is just a headache, you know. And with the CD, you have, unless there's a mastering error on the CD, there's like hardly any returns, and for defective, that is. That's just my view of how the CDs are comparing to the vinyl. Also, because in terms of a novelty thing, I think the newer generation are not really connected, have no history whatsoever with the CD. They were never brought up buying CDs, and they're in the era of streaming, and they'll more likely gravitate towards the vinyl because it's a bigger format. It's more tactile than the CD.
Gotcha. Yeah, the one I want to hear your thoughts, Jason, too. But the one thing I connect with that you said was that I'm sitting here trying to think of the title, but the Zappa album that came out last year, that was supposed to be the sequel to Hot Rats. I forget the title right now. Someone maybe can mention it. But it came out as a double LP. It came out as a 3 CD. And because it was Zappa, I love Zappa. I have everything Zappa and stuff. It was like I felt so cheated that I didn't get that extra record, or even if it took 2 records, all that other material I didn't get. And so I was sort of like, what a bummer, you know? So yeah, just to your point, it's like it's way more cost effective to put out CDs. And like you said, it's got to be, well, I don't know. I don't know who is buying those things. Just real quick too, sorry, Jason, just so we don't get too far behind on the comments. The fact that CD players don't come standard in vehicles, yeah, it is. And, you know, there's some comments in here about how difficult it is to acquire a CD player right now. Yeah, it's way different, man. They used to be in the cars. It was like the new cassette, right, when they came out, except you could program it. But yeah, we don't have those anymore. Sorry, Jason. I put him off so long, now he's gone.
No, I'm coming back. I'm just saying that I agree with Arnaldo. The next generation, they just don't care. Like,
Okay.
so, because, you know, there isn't like people like, you know, introducing younger generations to vinyl, whatever, that I see on YouTube, basically. Like, I don't see them interested in any CDs or even records, you know? But I mean, there is some CDs, like, I mean, I hate the fact that this, if everyone can see this, this is the Bob Dylan, the band, the Basement Tapes, complete. The complete. Like, they released the abridged version, I think, on 4 LPs, but not the whole thing. If you want the whole thing, you're either going to stream it. Well, there you go.
So
Or
you get to hear Bob Dylan in the studio saying things like, hey, man, press record this time.
Right. Or, you know, them having fun. But I mean, at that time, I think before the streaming, you could only get it through this box set. And it has like this wonderful booklet of the pictures and whatnot. And it's great, you know, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't have a CD player. You know, I got it for like, I don't know, $30 cheap so I can get the book, you know, and, you know, look through it while I'm listening to the vinyl or streaming it, you know.
Yep.
But
yeah.
But it's a wonderful box set, though. I mean, if you look at this, I mean, we opened this up. It's got 2 packages you see here, one to hold the CDs. You know, let me see here. This is the book. Here's the CDs. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm showing CDs. I mean, this is the death now of this channel. So, Chance, if you're, you know, Concert Buddy, if you're watching, here we go, showing some CDs.
You're gonna have
You
to
know,
blur
here
that
I got
out
the
again.
tapes from Bob, so don't worry. You know, we'll be making some bootlegs all day. You know, but I mean, the book is very nice. You know, I think if you know sift through it, you get these pictures of Bob Dylan just chilling out. You know, and then there's actually pictures of the bootlegs, the acetates. It's great. You know,
Did that come out in any on vinyl at all?
yeah, it did, like in an abridged version. I think
Okay.
it was like a 3 LP set or a 4 LP, but I think 3 LP. Didn't include all the songs, so it was like it was a miss, you know.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because no matter who you are, if you're a fan of Dylan and you buy the vinyl, someone else is choosing which songs you get to hear, and it's so
yes,
frustrating, right?
right. But I mean, luckily, like this isn't expensive, you know. You can get a
Right.
good deal from it, you know. So, but
Do you have a history with CDs, Jason, or was that just
yeah.
okay?
I mean, at the time when I was like listening, getting into music and stuff, like really getting hardcore in the '90s, you know, I'd be going to like like a used CD store and hanging out there and, you know, listening to CDs and whatnot. I mean, I don't know if you guys did the same, you know.
Totally. The majority of my collection was mostly, and in New York, there were some great secondhand CD stores. And it's not like buying secondhand vinyl. It's like it really has to be trashed, and you can visibly see that something's wrong with the CD. Otherwise, it's like almost 100% going to play exactly as if you just took the wrapper off of it, basically, right? So I have, and I never sold, when I started moving on to CDs, I never sold off my vinyl. And now that I'm going back to buying more exclusively vinyl, and I'd still buy CD sets. Don't get me wrong, especially like in cases where the CD box set probably has more than what the vinyl has, or for an artist where I don't want to splurge on a 10 LP box set and the 4 CD box set actually has everything, and I really care about the music first, right? Then the format. But
Well, I was going to say that was being my
like
question.
I haven't started selling off, and I probably won't sell my CDs because there's a lot of good music. I have thousands and thousands of CDs. I think probably have more CDs than I do have vinyl. That's how many CDs I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I think probably 3,000 or 3,500. I don't know. I lost count because then I had to downsize them. I took out all the jewel cases. I started putting them in these envelopes that preserve all the artwork, because a lot of those wallets didn't, and you end up losing the tray in the back or the booklet or whatever. So yeah, I'm a hoarder. I'm a hoarder for vinyl, and I'm a hoarder for CDs.
Okay.
And
You should have said that more like, hi, I'm Arnaldo. I'm a hoarder.
I have a problem.
I'm addicted to physical media.
Right.
I know I can get it for free on Spotify, but hey. No, I joke because obviously I have a decent record collection. I do not have a CD in my collection though, and I did go through all that. Like I sold off. I was the guy that sold all his vinyl in '91, bought all CDs, was so stoked that like I get all these extra tracks and remixes, and it was a smaller footprint, and I could listen in my car and all that. But then there was this pull to like vinyl, at all times. But anyway, yeah, I totally get that. I just wonder, like now with streaming being so popular and again affordable, and people have said in the comments section, like, is the younger generation just? And when I start talking about the topic at hand, the future of physical media is, will streaming just take over everything at some point? And I guess when will that point be? Is it like our foreseeable future, or I guess the question arises from the fact that we've been kind of on this up and to the right tick with vinyl, and it's surprising. I mean, we've got people more than ever. We've got more reissues and all this stuff. We just had another Black Sabbath we talked about a couple weeks ago and stuff. It's like, how long is that going to go on? Can that just go on indefinitely? Or at some point, like you said, is the generation is just going to go, okay, nah, I'm not buying vinyl. Things that make you go,
Right. I mean, can't predict the future,
Right.
Well, here's the thing: the fact that Taylor Swift will
trending so well right now.
We'll put out 10 different vinyl variants, and really only maybe 2 with different alternate artwork of a CD, right? 2, 3, and that her fans will go out and buy all 10 of the vinyl variants.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's the whole fan thing that you have to have everything that your favorite artist puts out. But I still maintain that the newer generation are more attached to exploring and will be tempted more to buy physical media as vinyl versus CD. That's my take. I don't know, because if you think about it, the majority of the active record buying public, if there is such a thing now, like that are buying physical media, I think is between 14 and 25, maybe 30. Those are really people that stream heavily and also buy physical media, except for, the old geezers like me and some others that will still buy vinyl and CDs.
Got it. One thing what about if I look at I guess the first question would be, is it fair or reasonable to think of vinyl in a similar category as comic books, sports cards, Pokemon cards? Are they a collectible in that sense? Because I look at my backdrop, Jason's backdrop, all the records are there. That could very easily be comics on another channel or sports cards or something. If that's a reasonable assumption to say that, it's going to become even more and more of a collectible kind of thing, especially for the younger generations. Like you just said, if Taylor Swift is going to drop 10 different variants, which is a comic book and a sports card thing, does it become more like that? And this whole grading thing now that's been starting to get, I don't know if it's getting traction, but they are being graded. They are going up in auctions now. And they're commanding some handsome sums as well. I would love to get your guys' opinion on that, because I know a lot of people are just like, if you're diehard, why are you encapsulating a record? It's meant to be heard, you know, and all of that stuff. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. Is it? Do you think there could be even that encapsulating and grading records could maintain a resurgence in the same way that it has with other categories, or is that just out?
I think sports cards. I mean, I have to disagree with Jeff K. Myers. He says sports cards don't do anything. That's not true. I'll find you a picture where one sports card was going over $15,000. Okay, like I mean, I know probably limited records that go for that much. You know, unless you're.
Well, I think he was referring to the fact that if you slab a sports card, you see the front and you see the back.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything other than looking at it. You slab a record, you're going to prevent yourself from listening to it because
buddy. He's telling me, saying, don't talk about this.
Well, I don't know.
Listen, I don't mean to interrupt. They give us 5 minutes to take a leak here at the Rhino Warehouse. So I wanted to take 5 minutes and jump in on this hot topic. So sorry to interrupt. I got 5 minutes. They don't even let us use the urinals. We got a PP and the Gatorade bottles. So
you want to trade sports cards for records?
I heard you say sports cards, and now you're talking my language because I bring more to the table than records, even though I don't bring that to the table, according to some of them haters. So
let's see that card you got here. I got one right here.
Oh, make yourself big.
Jose Montana, man, he is a
hell of a player. Only one I got.
Where do you play that one?
He was great.
Where do you play that one on? Do you have a specific player to play that?
Yeah, Soundburger. I got a Soundburger. Should I go get the Soundburger?
Oh, the Soundburger. A reason to break it out. All right, Chance. So what do you think, baby? I mean, are we gonna is grading gonna be a thing? Here's the thing, because I understand the sports card is just two-dimensional, right? You can see the front, you see the back, who cares? A comic book is not. A comic book is very much similar to a record in the sense that you got pages that you know, they're locked in there, and then you got to go find yourself a digital source or another copy. Same argument you could make for a record, right? Go listen to it digitally, or go get yourself another copy that's not as collectible. Chance, what say you?
Listen, there's some sage advice, and I hope whoever is going to record this for a parody records it well. Some people like some things, and other people like other things. And I know I'm not a genuine record collector, but I like to play one on YouTube sometimes. And what I mean by that is this: if some people want to take a perfectly good record and slab it like a plastic sandwich, hey man, that ain't for me to say. Man, how they spend their money, that's none of my business. Personally, I think you're doing the vinyl gods a disservice if you don't play it. Now, if you've got that sealed record that's 60 years old, and you guys have heard me talk about this before, I have had terrible luck in old sealed dead stock. It's warped, scuffed up. It's not that those are not meant to be played. So in those instances, I really think you need to consider, is this a speculatory situation? And you just slab that sumbitch sideways.
It's okay, Mr. Rhino, if you're holding back on Michael Fremer's sealed comedy records at Rhino, you know, it's okay.
Listen, hey, listen here, COVID kid. After Fremer, after you got that Fremer record, I may or may not have bought about 20 sealed for $13 total.
And it goes to show you got last week you showed off that psychedelic horse shit record that was sealed, right? And it had ringware. No. It already had ringware on it.
Hang on. I want to break the internet. All right. So what if you had one of these, Concert Buddy, and it was sealed like this one is? You cracking that open? Are you cracking it? Are you going to spin this baby? I mean, it's only because of it's the original. It's got the band artwork on the front. You got the hype. It's sealed. Who in their right mind is going to open this just to hear it? You know what I mean?
Listen, it's like I was saying. You run the gamble. I'm gonna do here. Go haters. This is me shaking dice, but you can make it shaking something else. I don't care. Shout out to Davey Strange Nate, who has the smallest penis in the vinyl community. But let's get back to the topic at hand.
Oh, I knew. See, I knew as soon as I let Chance on his own channel, man. I was gonna.
But kidding aside, so to answer your question, I would slap that guy, and here's why: slap that guy and slap that guy. It's got all the extras. Because here's the thing: if you're trying to complete it, you've got to get the decals. There's like a couple different little things, and a lot of times, if you find the record, it's already going to be a $200 piece just to get the record, and it may not have the extras. So you've got the complete Mac Daddy 1987. Rip it, because again, you're getting into that area where it's, man, you're almost on 40 years of being sealed, and if you open that, it may be warped, and you're gonna cry a big fat river.
Oh yeah, for sure. So there is this, and this is one of the things too. When I did that series, when I first caught wind of the whole, vinyl grading and stuff like that, was you get a wide range of opinions, right? You got people, there's just no excuse for grading a record. Then you got people that were like, look, there is certain use cases for it, right? And that's kind of where I'm at, I think, with it right now. And I know this, like Chance says, could be a controversial topic, but it's like the record I just showed, I'm probably going to get that graded or, slabbed, because it's like, it's going to sit on my shelf. Someone's going to pick it. It's going to fall. The dog's going to chew it up. Something's going to happen to that thing, right? And like you said, you're going to be crying. I'm never going to open it. When I die and someone else gets it, they're never going to open it. So it's just.
Can I throw a curveball? I'm going to use a sports analogy. Can I throw a curveball here?
All right, let's do it.
What if?
Let me choke up.
Well, no. So there's a record I purchased a while ago that had hazing on it. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like it had been sealed for so long, and they also use those early poly sleeves that the material broke down. So we're talking, this record was in like the 60s. So that material had broken down and created this haze on the record. All right, the gassing effect. Yeah. I looked on Hoffman. They call it like 6 different things. Point being is that now I tried playing it, and guess what you hear? Whoosh, 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 whoosh. So now in hindsight, boy, I wish I would have kept that sealed. Now, can I still listen to it? Kind of. But you just keep hearing the whoosh, 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 whoosh. So then at that point, what are you going to do with the record? It's not really fun to play. So do you slab it, or do you make it like wall art? Like you can do, you go to Michael's or you go to the framing shop, you can make a nice little piece with it. But in terms of having true return value as a record, as a listenable record, like throw that out, like it's done. You know what I mean? So
Mr. Rhino,
doesn't matter how long you've been in the game.
You got to use that plastic wrap at the Rhino factory, reseal that record,
Listen, I saw Tom come in and he made that because that resealing is a thing, and he's right about that, because you go to any resale shop.
Jason has the hype sticker. You can't make that one up.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You really have to be sophisticated to make up a.
Well, listen, Jason's a sophisticated guy, so I think he's capable of just about anything.
I'm not that sophisticated. All right. Well, there we go. A lot of beating around the bush, I think. But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. Either it's going to.
10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, boss. 10 more minutes. Those Black Sabbath will ship themselves. Sorry, they're wanting to get me back on the floor rapping skids.
All right.
So hang on a second.
Got to get those Sabbaths out, man. I heard some people got his. I wonder if David got his yet. I've been seeing question. on the Facebook and all that stuff that people are starting to get theirs. That
Well, don't tell anybody, but I got mine, and I might have already sold one. Don't tell anybody. You're not supposed to know about that. It's human resource violation.
He's a flipper. That's almost as bad as encapsulating records. Well, hook David up. If he doesn't have his, man, we need to get him his. So, all right. How about, so that's the, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. That is the future of physical media right there. So let's see. I got to learn how to use these. We got another banner. Let's click it up. Boom. There we go. Vinyl industry post-pandemic. And this is a very similar topic, I think, but supply chain issues, rise of direct-to-consumer sales. Is that hurting record stores? Doesn't seem like it. I mean, Chance was here making the West Coast trek, and we hit up 5 stores in a matter of like 3 hours. They're everywhere. And but I'm curious what you guys think. I mean, with supply chain issues, with direct-to-consumer, it seems like we're still booming. I'm sorry if this whole show, if this whole live stream, I look shocked, but it's just, we wouldn't be having this discussion, 15 years ago, but we're having it now. It's like, so what is that is there a post-pandemic? Where do we draw the line? Is there a post-pandemic vinyl world now, or is it a post-record store day? Did that do something? Chance, help us out here, man.
Can I tell you a
long
story?
can this go on?
Guys, can I tell you a story? It's part of the reason I want to come up here. I also wanted to round out the day. I was watching, and I saw there was only 3, and I thought I'd make it 4 for a little bit.
Wait,
until they
concert
call me
buddy,
back on break.
Concert buddy, do hamsters work at the Rhino factory? Do they?
Gerbils, and I'll let you imagine what that happens. No, here's a row.
Are they the ones that are gnawing at the corners?
Yes. Oh no,
Split seams.
Oh no, those ding corners. Yeah, actually, they're the ones packing. They're the ones packing the records. We had to go past child labor, and we had to go to like actual animal labor at this point. No, so here's what I'll say about the post-pandemic stuff, because you've been hearing and been waiting for the bubble to burst. Okay, so I saw something last week, and I don't know if it's a sign of things to come, but I've been waiting for this. So haven't really been hitting that circuit of thrift stores in a while. It's just been dry, right? It's just been a waste of time. I mean, if you want some Barbra Streisand, or you want, maybe once in a while you'll find a sweet Herb Alpert, maybe once in a while, but it's a hard time in them streets. And we went the other day. It's to the point where records is the last thing I'll do in my little circuit at this one particular store. I'll go electronics and then try to find some old concert T-shirts and blah, blah, blah. So make the rounds, and there is an older couple, and they've got a bunch of records. I'm like, oh, they're just loading up. Or maybe they're going to like make those funny bowls, the melted bowls, or make the coasters, like a craft project. And I look in their cart, and there's Taylor Swift 1989, and there's Adele 30, and there's a couple other contemporary albums. So I start looking. I'm curious, so I start looking, and I pull the soundtrack to Clueless and Pitch Perfect 2. So here's why I say that. I know that's a once in a long hair situation, but I'm waiting for the young people who got into records during the pandemic or post-pandemic because it's cool and it looks fun. But then I think and I've been waiting for this, and Arnaldo, you probably feel the same way, or tell me if you don't. The bubble's going to burst on those folks because the inconvenience factor, because this is the generation that cannot be bothered. This is the entitlement generation. And for them, the inconvenience of having to listen to 3 songs or 5 songs and then go and turn something over, there's a lot of deep sighs. So I'm starting to see that story I shared, I think, is the beginning of potentially what we've been waiting for post-pandemic is, are we starting to see people get out of vinyl, particularly the younger people, because you've got 70 different things to stream on, and you've got things like YouTube that are free. So long-winded way of saying, Jason, yes, I think there's a crack in the foundation. Does that mean that prices are going to revert back to $20 a disc like they should? I don't know. I think we may be past that, but I do think the young people, coupled with the cost being cost prohibitive, like a new album costing $40, that's tough. That's tough beats. You know what I mean? It's tough sledding. So I think that there are signs of a resting place, the vinyl resting place for the hobby. That's where I'm at. What do you guys think?
Go for it, Jason or Ronaldo. Jump in.
Vinyl resting place. So are you going to be buried with your Grail record that you had a video on? I'm confused.
I told you I've got 13 sealed Michael Fremer records, and they're going to surround me. Like,
oh, show some respect. Come on, Deep Thought. That was the man's Grail.
I think like there'll be like discount record bins. I don't think it'll go back to the dollar bin per se, depending on what store you go to. But there will be like a discounted where records that were selling for 30 are now for what, 20 or 17 or something. But it won't go like those won't go like cut out bin, like I don't see that, But I mean, the used will always be the used, that's not gonna change,
Hey, follow up, Jason. Do you think that there are too many record stores now?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people just, and I considered it. It'd be a fun thing to do, something you like in your hobby, but there's a lot of new record stores out there, and I don't know if there's all that used inventory to keep them sustainable. I'm already hearing some of my guys are, collections aren't as fruitful as they used to be coming in the doors, right? So I think there's only so much bandwidth of the used records, and people are holding on to them. There's more collectors. People are holding on to some of those good ones, and I don't know. What do you think, Jason?
Well, especially when there's so many stores in a condensed area, right? Because they're going to distribute those records potentially evenly. If there was just one record store or two record stores, then that would be where all the bounty would go, right? Sorry, Jason, go for it.
No. We'll hand it off to Arnaldo. Arnaldo, what do you think?
Arnaldo's got the real insight on this one because he's the man in the biz. So Arnaldo,
he's about to take a deep breath.
I hit us with the true stick. What do you think on this topic?
Well, I know that quantities are coming down when it comes to vinyl.
Sales?
No, in terms of production.
Okay.
Which is a reflection of, we have too many of these other releases that are still sitting in the warehouse that didn't sell through. Mr. Rhino there in the upper right corner.
Yeah, hang on a second. I'll change the urinal cakes. The urinal cakes won't change themselves. I'm sorry. They want me to get back on the break.
Hey, by the way, are you using urinal cakes to press these records?
Listen to the Black Sabbath, Jason, and then you decide. What's this white splatter with the blue chunks? I don't know.
Yeah, I know exactly what that is.
Sorry, Arnaldo. Arnaldo was actually having a serious moment.
I'm
totally ruined it. Sorry.
Well, I opened the door for you to comment. Fair enough, when you have Rhino that is like, okay, shit, we can't sell these through. Now we're going to have to put them through retail. Let's see how that works. Right. So I think some reissue labels and the majors as well are starting to rethink, okay, how much of this boom can we ride? I think it'll be smaller, the production of vinyl in terms of production runs, but it won't go away. And I think they're actually starting to wonder, like the people that are making vinyl or these labels are starting to wonder how much can we charge the consumer and how far can we push it? Considering the rising costs of manufacturing. That is really an important factor. Yes, the lead times have shrunk a little bit, but from what I understand, paper is still very expensive. I don't know why, but paper is still very expensive. And now, I don't know, maybe the eco vinyl is going to represent the wave of the future where we could reuse other pieces of plastic.
Oh, wow.
Listen, the biggest fallacy out in manufacturing, and I'm gonna put my my non-concert buddy hat on for a second, is anything eco or sustainable somehow being cheaper. It's not. It's usually more expensive. It's more about storytelling and being able to hit that check mark of, we're more sustainable. Quality be damned. But it's very rarely cheaper, or else any manufacturing environment would have been doing it a lot sooner. So, but Arnaldo, I want to ask you a follow-up on that. Do you think there's going to be more pressure on either the buyers or basically the decision makers about these runs? Let's use the Black Sabbath for an example. 5,000, probably too low. Right? I mean, because it sold out in a week. There's, people paying 2-3 times MSRP at, and the secondary market. And that one probably should have been more. Future releases probably, and some of these past jazz ones probably should have been less. So do you think there's going to be more pressure from the buying and planning area versus, I guess, in years past?
Well, absolutely. Yeah. Because there's behind all of these releases, if there isn't, there should be some kind of mini P&L, which tells you how much is it going to cost, how much you think we're going to make, and let's see where we land, where the bottom line is black. Breaking even is not a business. We're not in the business of breaking even. Red is really bad. And when there's too much red, the people that were making those decisions will start to feel the chair, or what is it? The rug being pulled up from underneath them. So yeah, word to the wise. I mean, I think it happens in every industry, right? Productivity is very important. You produce and you do your you go above and beyond. Now, doing your job is not enough. So you have to go above and beyond,
It's true.
and you will have a future in the company, right? And this is no different. I think some of the reissue labels are starting to wonder, okay, how many times these jazz titles can be reissued?
Oh boy.
Right?
Yeah.
And how many reissues can there be? Because people during the pandemic, let's not forget, people had a lot more disposable income. That contributed to all of the record buying, all of the home upkeep. Well, they were home, and that's why stock for Home Depot was surging, because people were doing their own project.
People are looking for stuff to do, so let me just play a record.
Now that you can go to concerts again, and we know how expensive concerts are, so people that have an outlet in music now are starting to wonder and debate, do I want to spend $200 to go see a show, or do I want to buy $200 worth of records? It depends. Whatever everyone prioritizes, that's up to them. I do both. But I think now that there is that other option to spend money, going on a vacation, going to a ball game, going to a concert, all these other extracurricular activities, social activities that for 2 years we basically didn't have, and we needed to spend our money somehow, right?
So when you say spend $200 on a record, I assume you mean a
bunch of records. Am I going to go buy records? Yes. $200 on one record. That's all. That's another topic. We'll talk about that.
Does it rhyme with Dan Steely?
Just checking. So here you go. I think someone, as this is a shot at you, Chance. Rhino can do whatever they want. They have the privilege of aiming low and then going high if the desire is there.
Listen, John Bandy, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And John Bandy's right. So I appreciate John either insulting or promoting the fine folks at my second shift job here at Rhino Warehouse.
Oh man, concert buddy. I think John Bandy just became CEO of Rhino. Okay.
Well, here's a little food for thought as an example. Do you guys remember the lovely reissues that Run Out Groove used to do? Where are they now? They were a part of Warner. When the restructuring came around, probably someone started to see, okay, let's see what that arm of the business is doing. How much money did we make there? Is it worth investing people, time, resources, and capital, because you're investing capital in that branch of the business? Yes, no, okay, maybe we need to divert some of the energy somewhere else. And have you noticed how Run Out Groove went down? Then all of a sudden we have Rhino High Fidelity.
Yeah, it's a redistribution of allocation and resources.
They're still the same. I don't know if it's the same people that are involved. I don't think so. But you have within the same company, which is Warner, you have, okay, that maybe didn't work out as much as we wanted to. Let's shift and try and do something totally different. In the auto, even though Run Out Groove was doing audiophile stuff, right? Almost everything was analog, the heavy tip on, really curated releases. I don't know. Maybe it didn't do well. I don't know what led the decision to phase that out and start something new.
Yeah, but to that point, though, I think what the folks at Rhino have kind of exposed in the industry is that you can do, air quotes, audiophile grade production at $40 retail. You got the nice jackets, the Jason's favorite guy, Kevin Gray, mastering it. You've got all the bells and whistles that scream audiophile, and then you've got that $40 price tag. Meanwhile, you have the competition, the folks in Chicago, pushing it to $59.99 on a lot of backlog titles that they clearly have the license for, that really people aren't asking for more. Miles Davis kind of blew MoFi. Sorry, spoiler alert. No one is asking for that. Also, the guys in Selena, they also push some of the price points up too. And again, their costs are their costs. But Rhino, if anything, and again, I know I work for them here on the side, they're demonstrating that they can make a $40 audiophile grade output for the market. So interesting. I don't think prices are going to come down for those competitors, but I think they've kind of shown there's probably a little bit more pork in those profit margins.
Well, the prices will probably still stay the same until the gerbils, revolt and
Mutiny.
PM over there at Rhino, it's got to pay up, pay up more on the dental, Come on.
Dental and cheese through the roof. We own it
right.
on that one.
That's right.
Well, and to your chance point, it's like the stuff you're talking about. I'm taking a step back now to what we were talking about before, but all of I see there's got to be a crash from all of the people that just got into vinyl during the pandemic. And like you said, young people buying certain kinds of records, and like Walmart and Target and those kinds of stores. How much longer are those retailers going to hang in there? Because
well, Jason, you're already seeing it, not to cut you off, but go to your local Walmart, go to Target. They're refining that shelf space.
Right.
I mean, shelf space is at a premium.
It's happening
and
fast.
If you go to Target's a perfect example. Remember, it used to be probably an 8 to 12 foot section, 3 levels deep. Yep. Now it's about a third of that, right? So they still have the hot releases. They still got your T Swifts and stuff, but they've got books. And they've got more media, and they've redesigned their kind of media area. And Walmart's it depends on the Walmart, right? But I think they're doing the same. Speaking of which, have you seen some of these photos online of the bomb squad that Walmart vinyl looks like? Like literally, it looks like somebody just goes through and does the stunting method to all the records and just leave them there. Have you seen those? I mean, it's like crimes against humanity stuff. True story. I should have had some.
What I do see is how come I see people all the time saying, "Hey, look at my my Walmart haul. I got these for $5 a piece." When I go to my local Walmart and Target, I don't see them for $5. I'm seeing like Purple Rain for $45. What the hell, man?
YMMV. Your miles may vary, Jason. That's what they put on all those.
I live in the wrong area.
You don't have a discount bin at your Target or your Walmart? No?
Not that I've seen. I mean, but to Chance's point, though, yeah, the vinyl section has been getting smaller and smaller. Yep. All right. Well, I got to look at my notes here. So, who was it that said? So I think maybe it was Mazzy. Somebody saying that and you probably know this too, Chance, is that on the Pacific Northwest, they've got all these record stores and they're filled with people. People are in there shopping away. So, but what's the demographic now? I mean, are we still seeing younger people in there, or is it just, because that's the thing, right? When you start talking about longevity and what's going to happen, I mean, the serious truth is, yes, Rojas is going to die with those records. And we know, but I mean, it's like, at some point you got to start being responsible and saying like, what's going to happen to all these people we're talking about before, where a lot of these records you were saying too, Chance, like, are these going to come back into the community? Is there a time when, and I don't know, this is going to sound redundant, but we got 7 minutes to kill, but is there going to be a dollar? How long before we do get the dollar bins? You can say, oh, we're not going to see the dollar bins for like stuff like this and that, but aren't we?
They gone.
I mean, who's going to buy those records in 10 years?
Because here's why I say they gone. Back to that thrift story I was telling you about. That store, that chain is called Savers. Their bare minimum for a Herb Alpert whipped cream or anything. Barbara Streisand, here's Barbara. Even rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. She used to be the queen of the dollar bins. $2.99 is now your thrift bottom barrel price. I think even Goodwill is $1.99. Roached, poached, disgusting vinyl at Goodwill. It's got grandma's ashes on it. $1.99 a piece. So I think the dollar bins are I think they're going to be like a relic, kind of like the jukebox.
I know
McDonald's
stores,
$5 meals.
I know secondhand stores in my area that have their $1.99 bin is gold compared to what I find at thrift stores in the area. Like for $1.99, you will find
where?
New York area, in the New York area and the New York suburbs.
Okay.
You'll find, I don't know, maybe where was I? Yesterday I was actually in New Jersey, and they had, it wasn't $1.99, but for $5 you could find Crosby, Stills, Nash, Deja Vu, for $4.99, $5.99, and those typically, and they were in excellent condition. But I've been to other stores where they were like $1.99, $2.99, maybe. Yeah, maybe the cover was a little torn, but the vinyl was fine. But
though, or are you always like? It's like Chance was saying earlier. Like, how many people are really thrift storing now for vinyl.
I have never been successful.
I got lucky once. I did a video because somehow someone was sleeping on the job and there was like 30 or 40 really nice records there, and I bought them all for $3 a piece. But that's like a once in a decade. I mean,
I was at a thrift store a few weeks ago, actually 2 or 3 weeks ago, and because it's on the way to getting my haircut, so on the way back, I make a stop and I go through the very small section, and there was nothing except for Barbra Streisand records, right? And classical. Classical is like really hot in thrift stores.
Yeah.
And then
Classical is so hot right now.
Then I see the lady who's pricing stuff, and I see in front of her there's a batch of freshly deposited vinyl. So like, now's the time I can strike. Maybe I'll get lucky. So I asked, I was like, "Are those for sale yet?" And it's like, "No, I was just about to price them, but you can take a look at them if you want." And I looked through them. It terrible. It was like,
No, they were not terrible. You were going through them. Andy Williams, he's a keeper. Perry Cuomo, Pete Fontaine. You were like, man, these are the best.
Andy Griffith sings. Yeah, I mean, killing it.
The days of I have to go back to 6 years ago when I would actually find for $2 Sting in the dollar bins, in the thrift store bins. Forgot what else I found. Maybe I found the Steely Dan in there. I mean, those days are gone.
Oh yeah, they're coming back.
Yeah, Michael Tedder's right, and I think I brought this up somewhere else before. They got this horrible thing called shopgoodwill.com that whoever runs Goodwill thought it was a great idea. It started with video games and other collectibles, is that they would instruct the stores, hey, if it looks fun, pull it aside and we're going to throw it up on the website. And then they just auction bid it into the stratosphere. So the days of, you got to Arnold's, we got to catch somebody slipping. Somebody that's a blue hair, doesn't know Britney Spears from LaToya Jackson, and just, puts it out there. And you may be able to, you may be able to get something good. But I mean, Arnaldo had the perfect recipe. I mean, timing is half of the battle.
I was there with the timing. She didn't even price them yet. Nothing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
Heartbreaker.
Who's one of the guests that does regular runs at Savers, like more than once a day?
Oh, so that's my man. The flip side with JC, he goes twice a day.
JC,
he goes in the morning and then in the afternoons, and that's why he finds stuff. Now, it's not like every week he's like, "Here's my latest Killer Savers haul." But when he hits, I mean, it's a law of averages, right? Like, he's going enough, and he's befriended the people, so they know, like, oh, here's Josh, and he seems like a nice guy, and like, I don't know
if you're gonna do it. That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to befriend him, and I don't know if he's got like a set it aside McGillicuddy situation going with him. But if you befriend people after a while, maybe they're like, oh, Josh is coming in later. Here's a fresh stack of records. I'll let him look through it before I have to price it. So
yeah,
hats off to him, because again, hitting the ground is part of the battle.
All right, guys. All right, buddies. All right, crew. All right, audience. We've hit our 1 hour mark. So we need to wrap up the, what do you call it? The podcast version. Sorry, Chance. The podcast. See, I'm nervous because my boss is here, man.
Get out of here.
Podcast portion of the stream is coming to a close. But if you are watching us on YouTube right now, don't go anywhere. We are about to take you to the, oh my God, the
higher place.
Freestyle.
Higher place.
There we go. Whoopsh. All right, let's get in character. We even need to change up the branding.
Oh man, yes, let's do that. And actually, I got to switch. I think I'm off the clock now. It's top of the hour. I think I've made it through another shift.
You made it.
The gerbils can take over at the Rhino factory, right?
The gerbils are already working. AI and gerbils. I'm out of a job, guys. That's how it works around here.
All right, so let's go into our freestyle. I wanted to just kick us off with a little prompt. I thought this would be fun. So I just find myself going to certain records when I'm in a mood, right? It's like, it's almost like a cycle. It's like seasonal. I don't know about you guys, but honestly, sometimes it's like fall, I'm listening to these records. In the summer, I'm listening to these records. When I'm feeling sad, I pop on record X or record Y if I'm stoked. If I need to get pumped, I put this record on. I want to know what your guys' go-to records are. BC Deep Thought has put some deep thought into this, and he's pulling a haul right now, fresh from the thrift store, fresh from Savers. And I got my little stack here too, man. But I want to know, what do you guys go to when you're in your fields? When you guys, just depending on what mood you're in.
Well, you guys are going to outclass me on show and tell because this was a spur of the moment decision. But I can.
Well, just go ahead.
I can pontificate if you'd like me to pontificate.
Huey Lewis is. I just pull it out. Huey Lewis, pull it out. It's right there.
Yeah, Huey Lewis is behind me. I hide it in the break room so nobody touches it because that's not a Rhino release. So.
Yeah, what do you do with those non-Rhino releases at work, man? You're not listening to Rhino at the job, are you?
That's all they let it. They block all the frequencies. If you have a streamer or if you have like a pocket radio, they've got this technology that it's only WEA. Is that how you pronounce it, Arnold? WEA. It's only WEA stuff. So it's a lot of Led Zeppelin. It's a lot of Stolen Stacks licensed materials. Pointers, yeah, Paul's right on that one. Pointer Sisters.
Nothing wrong with Pointer Sisters. I think we had that on a Guilty Pleasures. I believe our man.
No, Jason loves the Pointer Sisters.
Yeah,
I think he wanted to be the fourth Pointer Sister. If I remember that conversation correctly, he was. He was auditioning once on. Was it local access television? Jason, was that what was going on?
Well, Arnaldo, did you grab a little stack? What do you got? You want to kick it off? Do you want me to kick it? I can kick it off too.
I got it. I got my stack. So we're gonna do one at a time or all at once?
Why don't we do? Let's see how it goes. Pull an emotion or whatever out, and then maybe we'll go around the room.
This is my summer record.
I love that record.
Every summer, Scritti Politti, Cupid and Psyche, 85. Wasn't part of the title. I don't know if it was, but
Absolute.
It came out in 85. And the guy with the voice that sounds like he's on helium, fantastic.
Aaron Neville?
No, Green Guard Side.
Green Guard Side. Actually, the other day, a few days ago, I was playing the album that came out after this. But today's the first day of summer. I didn't have a chance to spin it yet. But this screams summer for me all the time. It did come out during the summer. So maybe that's probably why the memory association comes with listening to it always in the summer. So that's my summer record.
Great album. Nice pick. All right, summer. Deep thought.
Am I just picking any record I want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
here's one that I love that's a feel-good record. I love this record. This is the Paul Simon self-titled, the one post Simon Garfunkel. This is the quad version. Guess what? The quad version has a different mix of the whole damn record and phenomenal. I never knew it. It was being sold at my local, I think, for 18. So I bought it. Well, I actually hesitated, did not buy it, and then could not sleep, right? Had to go back later in the week. No one was going to buy a quad, but I went there, got it. And of course, Mother and Child Reunion, right? You can't really see that. And then, of course, me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. My other favorite songs Everything Put Together Falls Apart, Run That Body Down. This is an amazing record.
Do you have a history with that record, Jason? I mean, does that take you back or what?
Does it take me back? I just think of the history of the record, right? He split from Garfunkel, after Bridge Over Troubled Water, and all the songs on here are just super fun. It's just kind of like a breath of fresh air for him,
Yeah. Very nice.
Marsha.
Chance, you got one? I saw you step away from your.
Where are you?
Listen, my third job, because I got to pay for all the back end stuff about the podcast and the constant attacks I'm under. So I've got a whole legal team. So that money don't grow on trees. So I'm now working at the record store. This record store is open 24 hours, believe it or not. And these customers are looking for the latest and greatest Taylor Swift's, Adele's, and anything that was at that Savers that I was talking about. Now, I have some records. Hang on, I have to turn the.
Is that where you're pawning off that box of lost Sabbath records from the Rhino warehouse?
Look, accidents happen in the warehouse, Arnaldo, as you're fully aware of. That we call this truck bumps. You know, if the truck hits a bump too hard in the parking lot, magically a couple of big boxes just fall off the back. I don't know how that happens, but you know.
I didn't know we were talking to concert buddy Soprano. You know. Man.
Hang on.
Wow.
Hang on. I had to turn that off because I'm about to hit you with the real slickness. Now, Jason, you done asked for it, and you done got it. This is what I call an all seasons record because you can play this summer, spring, winter, fall. Anytime you put this on, we'll have a ball. It's Huey Lewis, the greatest export from San Francisco, short of Willie Mays. Rest in peace. Say hey, kid. Look at this. I mean,
that's the heart of rock and roll right there, baby.
It's the heart of rock and roll, and I mean, my man is just killing it. So that's what I'll call an all season. It's kind of like an all seasons room. And then when it's time to work out, I like to put on a little Master of Puppets.
Okay.
Oh wait, is this an original still in shrink? Yeah, it is. Oh, the shrink is kind of folded, so I probably.
But Chance, now I got to stop you right there. Why do you keep the original shrink on there if there's no hype sticker?
So that's because this is the way I procured it. And so I'm with you because as I'm going through my collection right now, this is actually my collection's right over there. I'm going through right now painstakingly, and exactly what you talk about. If it's old and doesn't have the hype sticker, I'm getting.
That's my rule of thumb.
Yeah,
the only reason to keep the old one is because it has a hype sticker. If it doesn't,
yeah. So this one's kind of like an outlier to that principle, but I mean, the fact that I procured it this way, I felt it was important. Now, that's not the only workout record I have because you need a good cool down record. And so I have this one. It's called Get in Shape Like the Pros with a Pro. This is legend Stanley Musial.
St. Louis legend.
From the great state of Pennsylvania. Look at that sweet, sexy jacket from his trainer. I mean, if these guys can't whip you into shape, who can? Look at that position. Look at those grandpa shoes too. I mean, this is what you need to do after a hot, strenuous workout. Is you need to get in shape like the pros with a pro.
So wait, I mean, what is on that record?
Well, see, it says this is an exercise record is recommended and endorsed by Stan the Man Musial, former director of the President's Council on Physical Fitness. Also, if you remember, Arnold Schwarzenegger also was the head of the President's Council on Physical Fitness. And this is great advertising. This says it's a total fitness program for the whole family. Athletes, executives, homemakers. I'll let you guess what that means. Teenagers. You know who they don't call out on this? The olds.
Vinyl.
There's no call out to the olds. So shout out. So I use Metallica to lather me up, and I use that one to calm me down.
All right.
And then when I'm feeling I've got the feelings. When I got some of the feelings, I just throw on some Pretty in Pink.
There we go. A little Molly Ringwald never hurt anybody.
Yeah. Poor Ducky. He never got the girl, and it was unfortunate. Even singing.
The haircut.
The hair is on point. Now my man's got the same haircut I have now in the real world. But at the time, Ducky knew how to rock it, right? And this is for the collectors. Genuine record collectors, listen up. If you hold this guy up to the light, the one you want to look for, Jason knows. You probably can't see, kind of. It's translucent. That means it was made with that material in the 80s, and that's what you want. You got like several records.
The bio
concert buddy. I was thinking you're gonna hold it up and say like in the inner groove, it's signed by Andrew McCarthy.
Well, smells like Andrew McCarthy. It smells like success. Oh man! And then Jason, when I'm feeling down on myself, the last one I'm going to show because I want to be fair with the time. When I feel like reminding myself that the journey of record collecting is a long and sometimes lonely road, I'll remind myself with a very rare hot banger like this. Do you know what this one is? This is what we call Mad Season Above. Jason Spins. What do you know about this one?
I got to be honest, Chance. I know less than nothing about that.
Less than nothing. Jack shit on this one. Well, I'm gonna educate you real quick. This is a side project by several Seattleites in the grunge era. And it is, thanks. Paul knows what's up. So this has got Lane Staley on vocals. I think McCready is a guitarist on this. Anyway,
Yep. Mike
This
McCready
is
from
a-
Pearl Jam, right?
if you want to hear what I would consider one of the Mount Rushmore songs of the grunge era, River of Deceit on this album is chef's kiss. It's amazing. And good luck trying to find the first press of this. Very hard. 2, and shout out to Jose wherever he is. I think he's left us.
He's
for
dodging
foreseeable.
me for some reason. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Jose was dodging me too. I think he owes me some more money. But you got usually the only way you'll find this is with the dreaded corner clip. And this one, Jose showed me a guy in Austin that had this without the corner clip. So I moved my other one into the sale pile, and this is a delight. But yeah, River of Deceit, one of the best grunge songs like ever. So yeah. So there's
Check it out. I will check it out. Thanks for embarrassing me on your stream, man.
no, I wasn't trying to. I was just like I was hoping I'd pull it. I was trying to send it to you through osmosis. I was trying to
Yeah.
do the mental mind meld. But
Well, when you see my
Anyway.
picks, you'll know just how shallow my tastes are. So,
oh, please. All right, who's
let's
next?
go
Who's
a couple here, and we're gonna get in the deep in the fields.
Hang on, Jason. I had to play the sad music
Okay.
since
Let
you.
it go. Let it go. No, that was good. All right, so care of the concert buddy himself. We got George Michael's Faith right here.
That's
This
a
one
great
takes
record.
me back. I probably really started getting hip to this in the early 90s and had to play. It's one of those albums that you got to play on repeat over and over and over. It's got a variety of music on it. You got I Want Your Sex. You've got Monkey if you want to tap your foot a little bit. But then you got Father Figure. What is the other one? One More Time, something like that, man, that are going to bring a tear to your eye for sure. Maybe many tears. I've been guilty. But I love this album. When I just need to be in my feels, there it is right there. I got to go to George Michael. And it's like, how can you go wrong with one of the best male vocalists to ever breathe?
I read a rumor on the Hoffman forums, Jason, that you were VCLT that record. Is that a true
Absolutely.
statement?
Yeah, I gave you credit, man. I was VCLT'd. All I had to do was tell Chance, oh, man, I don't have a copy of that. And next thing I knew, it was in my mailbox. So little word to the wise, everyone. Don't be afraid to let Chance know if you need something.
I'm all about making people happy, and my foot soldiers will attest to that.
Oh, man, I appreciate you. All right, and then we'll go to the next one. I'm kind of going back in time. So we're going to go back a little bit to 1984. We got Van Halen right here.
Yeah.
The greatest rock album of the 80s, from cover to cover, from track 1 to the very end, Run Out Groove. It's a masterpiece. In my room, I am both Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth. I got the chops, I got the pipes, and what a freaking pair, man. And I mentioned this on another stream. It's like there's just something about that lead guitar vocalist relationship when it's great. It's great. And I can only think of a few. One is, if you got it right here, I already named them. You got Journey with Neil Schon and Steve Perry. Some would say Led Zeppelin. You got a great crew there as well. But anyway, love this album, man. And it's my favorite Halen, my favorite rock album of the 80s. So when I just need to rock out, that is my go-to album. All right.
I like it.
Who's next? Go ahead, Arnaldo. Pick another season.
So everybody else showed all their records at once.
No. I got a lot.
I was right enough to let one.
No, that
person
was
at a
just
time.
Concert Buddy.
I'm making up
So-
for lost time, and again, I may get pulled back into the stock room at the record store. So
Well, I don't think Jason hasn't shown anything yet, right, Jason?
Yeah,
no, I showed her.
Go ahead. Oh, you did. Okay. All right. So I guess we'll go to another season. Then when the fall comes around, I usually pull this one out. David Sylvian, one of my favorites, all-time favorites. And it happens that it has a song on here called September, and I usually start playing this album in September. Came out probably, I think, around October of 87. It's very personal to me. If you've watched my videos in the past, you probably know why. I find it very healing. At the time I did, and it's very relaxing for me. So David Sylvian, Secrets of the Beehive.
When did you first discover that album, Arnaldo?
Oh, when it came out. When it came out in 87. But I was a fan of Japan, and this is David Sylvian's third album. So yeah, I was already a fan, and it was natural for me to buy it as soon as it came out. And this is my favorite album of his, by the way.
Very nice. Very nice.
Do I continue or do I let someone else go?
Oh, just keep going. Just let
going?
the river of deceit flow.
An album that I just listened to yesterday, that I could listen to at any time. And there has been in the last week so much talk about REM, so I couldn't help while I was working out
Nice.
to pull out Automatic for the People. Yeah, my favorite album of the 90s, my favorite album by REM. I don't know what else. I don't think there's one bad song on this album. I love it from
Now, hang on a second. I'm gonna challenge you. What about Out of Time? Right, the one before this.
Out of Time is a fantastic record, but this for me is the better record.
Do you like what's the song? Is it Drive? Is that the song on there for you, or what's the one you like the most?
I don't know. There's so many. Let's see.
For me, it's Drive. That's why.
Okay, no, I have to say it's probably in my top 3 REM songs. It's Night Swimming, if not the best REM song. Night Swimming, Find the River, which is the last song on the album. Try Not to Breathe. There's so many of them on here. And of course, it's a cliche because it's been played and overplayed, but Everybody Hurts is just a classic song.
Sure.
Right? I think it speaks kind of like to everybody. Right, Walter? Except for you. Because
Hold strong, Walter. Don't cave to peer pressure.
Been played so much, and I think it was at the time one of the best videos ever. You guys remember they're in the cars. Everybody gets off the bridge. The freeway backup with the subtitles and the captions of people that were in the various cars. I thought that was genius. I think only they appear towards the end. I think Michael Stipe appears towards the end or something like that. So yeah. And I guess should I go with the last 2? Another album that I listen to from the beginning to end at any time.
I knew it was coming out.
Where's Caesar? Caesar.
Yeah. Well, I'm also wearing a Radiohead t-shirt.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'm all Radiohead.
Wow.
Again, here, there are 6 songs. I want to say 7 songs that are back to back. It's hard to not let it play through. Then the weird one comes up, with all weird, happier, whatever. What is it called? Fittier, happier. That kind of like breaks the mood a little bit. And then it's back into the last part of the record where there's just, I don't know. Do you guys agree this is one of their best albums?
Yeah, I'll be honest. There's probably 2 that I really listen to that much, but that's one of them.
So remind me, is Karma Police on that?
Yes.
So yes, Karma Police is my top Radiohead song. I would say that album, and then Pablo Honey's from me right behind it. I know some other people would probably disagree with that, but I think those are probably my 2 favorites.
Well, another fan favorite is Kid A because it was so different
sure.
from what they were doing up until then. But yeah, Paranoid Android is on here. Subterranean Homesick Blues. Karma Police, you said it right. And to finish off with a record that is totally different from probably everything else that I've showed, that I can play this anytime, day, evening, any season. Usually it's one of those records that is also very, I want to call it, relaxing, maybe? It's just a chill record. No, it's not a sleeper. It's What's Going On. By Marvin Gaye. And actually, the last song, Inner City Blues, for me, it just screams really hot, 95-degree city, muggy weather. That's the environment. Like that's the atmosphere and the type of visual that I get in the mood when I listen to Inner City Blues.
So like sweaty, raw, gritty kind of vibe. Yeah, clothes sticking to you. Okay. I'm with you.
And that's it. Anytime, I'm always in the mood for these albums.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, Deep Thought. Let's keep the torch lit, baby.
Well, This thing
Jazz
came out in
Bar.
2000. This is D'Angelo's Voodoo. You know, if you're not
Ooh.
familiar with this record, this is the
How does it feel?
monster. Like, yeah, neo soul record. This is the one I go to when I want to chill, you know, or even want to just relax, you know, wind down. This is the one. You know, if you're not familiar with this record, that's you can get the reissue, I think, for what, maybe 40, but the OG is all, I guess, all analog. You know, now it's going for over 100 or 200, which sucks. But this combines that sweetness of Marvin Gaye and like that little bit of that punk angst of Prince, you know?
Yeah.
This is like one of the best. I mean, he even covers Roberta Flack, Feel Like Making Love, you know? Again, this is like a very sexy, sweaty kind of record, you know, gritty, you know? I don't
Jason,
know.
was that a double when it came
Yes,
out?
it was. Yep.
And that was the tape?
Yep.
It was, okay. Because Vinyl Me Please is reissuing that. I don't think
Yeah, I would say VMP.
I don't
just
know the
announced it.
specs of it though. I don't know if it says it's a AAA release or you know, if there's no mention. In that case, we can assume that it's not. But I didn't know it was.
Well, I mean, the other reissues that came out, like since whatever it's released, I know that people hype up the Light in the Attic, but that's a digital thing, you know.
It is, okay.
And it's more. It sounds more balanced, I've heard, but it doesn't have that bass, you know, that the OG has, you know.
So Arnaldo, I have the specs. Are you ready? I have
Okay,
breaking
sure.
news.
Go ahead.
So the specs are so pressed at GZ, you know, our good friends at GZ. It's being
Just
mastered
because you
by
work for Rhino doesn't mean that you need to put down GZ.
I'm an equal opportunity asshole. What can I say? So the jacket, I know the jacket is direct to board, double gatefold, 2 33 1/3 pieces of wax on brown marble, and then mastered by friend of the pod, one of the rising mastering engineers, Cicely Balston. Wonderful lady, and does great work. But to your question about if this was on the tapes,
She only cuts digital.
Yeah, well, no, I mean she does. I think she can do tape, but this one just says lacquers cut by Cicely Balston over at Air. So that would lead me to believe that this is a digital situation. Back to you.
All right, you got more chance, or should I go?
Oh,
No,
No,
Jason, did you finish, Jason?
Yeah, I'm just gonna show one at a
I blew
time.
my load. I blew my load, guys.
Go
Sorry.
around. Let's go around. Yeah. So you're good. You're good, concert buddy.
No,
Okay,
listen. I crash it, and that's my bad. So I want to give. Jason's got a shit ton of records. I've been in his home. He's got plenty to show.
Right, I could take the whole thing and be like, "Hey, this one's 200."
And they'd all
you
be
know, no one
OGs.
has it, you know.
No big deal. Just an OG.
Nah, listen. Don't let him fool you. He had some reissues in there. I saw him. Him and Jose were looking at something. And I kind of looked in a box, and I saw it was like the Kevin Gray box. It was so much Kevin Gray, you wouldn't believe it. It was unbelievable.
That was the cell box.
Kevin Gray box.
Right.
That was the cell box.
You know what was also in there? It was a container. It said, I can't believe it's not butter. Remember that product? He put a container on top of the box. Like, I can't believe. Never mind. Sorry.
Well, here you might let me throw a couple up, Jay.
Yeah.
Then we'll swing back to you. Otherwise, I'll never get through these. All right, to take you back a little bit more in time, when I want to sing and when I want to dance, and that's often, goddammit, it's often. And what I do is I pull out the B-52s.
Wow.
We go for a little whammy. Then we might, spin a little Wild Planet for you. Man, nothing better. Kate, Cindy, Fred, the whole gang is there. Sounds like the Scooby-Doo team. It's not. We're talking about the B-52s. I love these albums. I know
Jason, I have a question.
Word. Yes.
A question for a B-52 head. Who is the name of the fourth guy? Because they have rewritten him out of the B-52 history books. It's now whenever you see him, it's Fred Schneider, it's Kate, it's the blonde lady, name escapes me, and then the fourth guy.
Because you're freaking asking me, I'm not going to be able to think of it. Hold on.
Ricky.
Yes,
Ricky.
Wilson,
why
right?
is he? Why has he been written off? Did he have
died.
questionable in magazines?
He
No!
died.
Oh my God! No!
He's
Not
the
Ricky.
brother of
Cindy.
Oh,
Yeah.
son of a bitch! Now I really.
Thanks for bringing that up, Chance.
You killed it. That was the last nail in the
Hey, but you know what, baby?
surface noise stream.
He lives forever on wax right there.
All right. Well, I asked the question. I stepped right in it, and rest in peace, Ricky. I didn't even know your name, sir, nor did I know you had left this terrestrial plane. Oh my God.
Thanks for pulling that out, Arnaldo. That was just another moment where I brain farted, man. Of course.
Oh, man.
What an amazing guitar player. What a unique. Is there, Arnaldo, is there another more unique guitar player on the planet? This guy played with like 3 strings,
I know.
some crazy tuning, and you can hear it when he plays, man. Very, very different and unique. I don't know if you're a fan, Arnaldo, but you know Ricky, so I imagine you must know.
I need to apologize.
He was definitely unique in his style, for sure.
I apologize to all the big B-52 fans out there. Oh, no, that was the wrong drop.
Come on, dude. You just made it worse.
I'm just trying to get my mileage out of these damn drops, and that was the wrong one, man.
Well, here, let me see. I've actually not been using these drops. Let's see if I can find an appropriate drop. Where are they?
There is one in here. I believe it. Again, there it is. That's what
I went right to it. All right. Well, what do you got? You got more, Arnaldo? What do you got?
No, I just blew them all.
That was all your seasons?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even do by seasons. I did 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I only did
summer. What do you do the rest of the year?
Well, usually January, I kind of catch up because nothing comes out. That's when I start buying reissues. But I lined them up for January and February because there's no new releases.
Guys, I just got to tell you, we got rock and roll royalty in the house right there. Uncle Sally, if you guys don't know, man, I did a video on Uncle Sally. He had a band back in the late 80s, early 90s. You want to call it a hair band. It was a little too late because Concert Buddy's favorite genre came in and just wiped everything out when it came to rock and roll.
Lou Bega?
Welcome, Uncle Sally. Appreciate you being here, man. Honestly.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for joining us. Classing up to join. Appreciate it.
All right. Deep thought. What do you got?
Well, this is a guilty pleasure. This came out in 1990, and I don't care about the B side, but the A side. The whole A side is just so strong. This is AC/DC's The Razor's Edge. Like, you don't really see this on. Well, did they reissue this? I think they did, right?
Yeah, actually it's in the gold campaign too. I think, if I'm not mistaken now.
But this is like the OG from 1990.
1990. Yeah. There was a club press of that, wasn't there?
Yep. But this one mastered at Sterling with Thunderstruck. I mean, the whole A side is perfect. I mean, Mistress for Your Christmas. I mean, nobody writes songs like that anymore, you know? I don't know if you need that. Does anyone need a mistress for Christmas, you know?
I mean, who doesn't? Let's phrase the question differently, Jason. Who doesn't?
I mean, this is you didn't know you needed?
Well, you know, I mean, I don't know if everyone remembers that music video, right? For Thunderstruck, right? They were like in a cage match, weren't they? Right?
Oh, yeah. It was like a Thunderdome type situation.
Yes. Like the only person missing was like Mad Max and Tina Turner, right?
Oh, we don't need another hero. Yeah.
But I mean, again, this is a great, I don't know, you know, guilty, but I love playing this. Like, this is a perfect A side. Perfect, you know?
Ooh, blasphemy coming from Elliot Cruz, Jason.
Well, he's no AC/DC fan, you know? That's too bad. Missing out, Elliot.
Elliot, we need to work on you because let me start you with the wonderful Stephen King adapted movie Maximum Overdrive, which is the full soundtrack is AC/DC song. So if you want to be scared by the music and scared by the movie, Maximum Overdrive, check it out. VHS. Elliot.
Oh man, now you're gonna make.
I'm actually shocked that Elliot says he only heard one AC/DC song. I mean, everybody. Which one is it?
Back in Black.
Back in Black, Shook Me All Night Long. I mean, Shook Me All Night Long is
at least 3. He's got to know at least 3 because I'm sure he was around in the 80s when that album came out. And that's all you probably heard on the radio, right? It was Back in Black and all like the other 2 or 3 singles that were on there.
Oh no, Jason, can you put up Elliot's comment? I think Elliot.
They all sound the same.
Well, yeah, he's making the point. Yeah, they all sound the same. They just changed the title.
Where's Thor? Is he sleeping already? Thor would have put Elliot in his place.
Thor would have came correct. Yes, this is true.
All right.
Well, I
Is it
grabbed
time
some
to
more
go
records, Jason, because I'm near my record collection. So now I'm not Jose. I can't just reach over my back and just whip out some of the heat. But I did want to pull out this one because I actually listened to it a little bit yesterday. And this is the wonderful soundtrack to the movie Into the Wild by a young singer. I don't know if you've heard him, Edward Vedder. He sings for some band, Bookie Blaylock, I think it's called. Anyway, this is a wonderful soundtrack. It's been pressed a couple times, but the original comes with this 7-inch. So
Cool.
collector's note. If you have the 7-inch, this is the move.
Yeah, it's a little flex, but it's all right. We'll allow it. It's on your channel.
Well, listen, we're going to flex a little bit. We're going to do some Lou Ferrigno posing here in a second because I know this is Jason. I think Jason's in the bathroom right now. He's taking a bathroom break, but we've got this wonderful album by this band called Hootie and the Blowfish. And I don't know if you knew this, but this is an original pressing red. And I actually bought it in Jason's former town of Columbus, Ohio. So this is one that, they played the hell out of it back in 94, 95 when it came out. But then when I'm in the mood for feeling scared, little pee-pee in the pants situation, you got to pull this one out. If there's a soundtrack, I mean, there's some scary soundtracks out there, but this one, Daddy, The Shining, this is where it's at.
Yeah, same composer that did Tron. I can't think of her name right now, but yeah.
Oh, you're going to ask me a question I don't know the answer to, but
I can't believe I've been space blanking out the whole show, but yeah.
But yeah, you put on that first track, especially the track, if you think in the movie where they're driving up to the Overlook Hotel and all that.
Yep.
Aces. And then I know Vinyl Piper's not here, but he may watch it on rerun, but I know he's looking for this album. So Chris, you don't have everything and I don't have everything, but I have this. So this is what we call Mother Love Bone. Have you seen this one? Apple. I know this is on Vinyl Piper's hit list. And so this is a terrific, again, talking about grunge. If you want to go back to the music of that time, the late Andy Wood on here. There's Stone. You can see Stone. There's Jeff Ahmed, the guys from Pearl Jam. So this is a wonderful one. And this one's like really jumped in value the last couple of years. It's pretty wild. Like it used to be $100 record pretty consistently for about 5 years. And then all of a sudden, I think once they heard Vinyl Piper was after it, they started really hitting that resale value. So, Chris, good luck getting one.
Man,
God, the flexing just does not stop.
I know.
Hey,
listen. Mention Lou Ferrigno, and next thing you know, he thinks he's the Hulk.
Hey, listen, no, man. Some people got to drink milk. They got to drink the milk, and Chris has got some awesome
spinach over there.
Hey, Chris knows I'm kidding. He's got a great collection. He's a collector's collector. He's got some awesome stuff.
All right, let me show a couple more of my meager collection. But I just like great music. I don't try to flex with these obtuse albums that no one's heard of. I'm gonna paint a picture for you. The year is 1981. A young boy just got at the Atari 2600.
Oh, shit.
And he's sitting on the carpet playing it on a little CRT television, probably Space Invaders.
Oh, premature. Sorry, Jason. Go for it.
Okay, I'll take it. And this young boy had been spinning records since about 4 or 5 years old because his parents trusted him with the turntable, taught him how to do it right. And my mom had these records right here, and this is the soundtrack to my little 10-year-old youth, man. 2 fantastic Journey albums. I said it before, Neil Sean and Steve Perry, like just a dynamic duo. You can't top it. Love these albums. I know there are people out there in the world that do not like Journey. I feel so sorry for them. You don't know what you're missing. Bay Area band, of course, where I grew up, and I sing these things at the top of my lungs. I used to have a little better register. I could actually get up there. Can't do it as much anymore. But yeah, man.
So you're saying we should have done some karaoke when I saw you a couple weeks ago? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, that's a great idea, man. Karaoke party in PDX.
Air Alaska, line 1. Let's go.
But there they are, man. Just 2 fantastic albums. Both of these. Love them. I love all of Journey stuff with Steve Perry on it, but these 2 just were on the turntable nonstop back when this kid was playing, Pac-Man on the CRT. So
So
love
how do
those
you feel,
records.
Jason? How do you feel about this new singer guy, the guy they found on the internet, the young?
Yeah, he
April
can just
April, I think?
reproduce Steve Perry's voice. Like, I guess he's been doing it for a while now. How long has he been
Yeah,
with the band? Like 20 years or something?
Yeah, it's going on a
He
long
sounds
time.
good.
yeah.
He's not Steve Perry. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know. I mean,
So that's a great question. You opened up a can on this one, Jason, because I think back to that wonderful movie from I want to say 99, 2000, Rockstar, with master thespian Marcus Wahlberg, where he basically was telling the Judas Priest story, right? Like where they wanted to get rid of Rob Halford, and then they brought in basically a singer for hire who was doing cover band stuff. Same kind of idea, right? So the question becomes, and I'll open it up to the dais on this. If it's a matter of seeing that band with 90% of the lineup, but it's a different singer, do you do it or not? What I mean is like go see them live, because there's a lot of bands that are doing that now. And some of them have passed away, right? Like Stone Temple's got a new singer, Alice in Chains got a new, like a lot of those 90s bands. Hopefully it's Soundgarden, they don't try to do that, but you know what I mean? The point's still the same. Like if they can replicate the sound like the Journey guy did, or like even in Rockstar, I mean, how do you feel about that? Spins, I'm gonna throw it right on you.
well, let me ask you this, concert buddy, is
A question with a question. I love it.
what if Nirvana came back all of a sudden?
No.
I mean,
Can't,
it's Steve
can't.
Perry, dude. I'm sorry.
I know, but they did it. They did it anyway.
I know,
right? Like,
I know. But I'm just saying that's how I feel about it. It's like you're not going to go see a replica Kurt Cobain doing his thing with the shaggy bleached hair.
Although I forgot what award ceremony it was, maybe 5-6 years ago. Was it when Nirvana was inducted into the Hall of Fame, right?
Haven't
Yeah.
they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't Ann Wilson perform? Ann Wilson from Heart?
Yeah, and Joan Jett.
And I forgot which one, but one sounded fantastic. I think it was Ann Wilson was great for the song, whatever song they did. That kind of like, not that she could be a perfect replacement, of course not. But yeah, sometimes you will find the right singer that can fill in those shoes. So for example, a few years ago, I saw Queen with Adam Lambert. He's not trying to be Freddie Mercury, nor does he even think he can be Freddie Mercury. He just does his version of Queen.
Sure.
And I think he does it brilliantly. He's got great stage presence, and he's got the vocal chops to be able to sing those songs. But he doesn't sing them like I'm trying to copy and make it sound like it's Freddie Mercury. He sounds right.
They also position it too, like when they did the stuff with Paul Rogers, right? Like they also are very clear. Paul Rogers and Queen, or Adam Lambert or Queen.
Right.
Like Journey example is like, hey, we're Journey.
We're getting
Well,
it.
truly not sound alike. It's not like, like Arnaldo was saying, like he's not. In fact, Dr. Robert actually nails it here. Van Hagar. Are they the one band that really kind of, I don't want to even say got away with it, but then they come out with 5150, one of their best albums, and somehow Sammy Hagar was able to. Now I am a David Lee Roth guy. I am Van Halen, not Van Hagar, but I love 5150. It's a great album, and he did it. He did the impossible. He came in there and took over for David Lee, but was as himself, like Arnaldo was saying, man, and just killed it. So that's a great example.
Rojas, come on, you got something on this. I mean, do you think it's cheapening like if somebody dies like Bon Scott? It's very hard to like pick up the pieces, and I'm not saying it's seamless to Brian Johnson, but that's kind of like the 1 in 1,000 kind of situation. Like Van Hagar, a little bit different, but kind of similar, right? Where do you
would you see Nirvana if it was Francis Bean Cobain?
No, because it's not Nirvana.
What about Courtney Love?
Oh, I'm not saying Courtney Love. Let's not go there, Jason.
I mean, hey, I might actually do that.
I'm saying Francis Bean Cobain is the singer,
No, because then why don't you just get all the children? Why don't you get Violet Grohl? You know what I mean?
Okay,
like if you want to do
Children of Nirvana, would you not go see that either?
I mean, I would check it out if it was advertised as Children of Nirvana, or like Scott Weiland's son did a band with I think Robert Trujillo's kid. Like there are some of those kids, Tom Morello's kid. those kind of things I think are
Jason
similar but
Bonham
different.
did fill in at the Led Zeppelin reunion.
Yeah, he did at the
I
O2
think
Arena.
a few concerts he did, right? Didn't he do the tribute to Ahmet Ertegun?
Yeah.
He filled in there.
He also did the Kennedy Centers thing where Ann Wilson just Stairway to Heaven. It was amazing. I watched it the other day. I can watch that any day. But to answer your question, Jason, I mean, I would watch it, but I wouldn't consider that Nirvana. Just like I wouldn't consider Chris Cornell's kid getting up there and singing with Kim Thayil and Matt Cameron and the guys from Soundgarden and consider that Soundgarden. I think that's, it's kind of very similar to, I think it's different if you're the singer or if you're like the front facing people in the band. Now, here's one I'll flip on you. Foo Fighters, what if they had Taylor Hawkins' kid as a drummer? Still the Foo Fighters. Why? Because Dave Grohl is still, he is the Foo Fighters.
Could
I
you
love
just
Taylor.
He's probably the better drummer.
Well, he is. I mean, that's, yeah, I mean, probably true. Probably true.
Yeah, I get it for the one-offs. In fact, did you guys see Annie Lennox performing with David Bowie to do that Queen song?
Yeah,
that
was for Live Aid. Yeah,
it's moving.
Not Live Aid, the tribute to Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. It's very well done in my opinion. Like sometimes I just have to go watch that. It's so good, and I love that song. And I always call it a Bowie song because I'm more of a Bowie guy. But that's an example where kind of a one-off thing where she just comes in and does the tribute and kills it. But could she replace Freddie Mercury full time? That's a totally different thing.
So Patrick raises a good one. This is Dio being Ronnie James Dio being the replacement singer for Sabbath.
Yeah,
that's kind of like very similar to the Van Hagar thing, in my opinion. Because
you're
right. I'm sure if you've got the Van Halen live album and you hear Sammy doing like some of the Jump songs, it's a little cringe. I got to be honest with you. But
I couldn't listen to that.
I mean, have you heard it? I mean, this is kind of I want to jump, but I don't want to jump with Sammy, just kind of like, mercenary mode.
Suddenly
right?
I'm not Hopper Teacher anymore, man.
Yeah. I mean, some things like when Van Halen got back together with Dave and they kicked Michael Anthony out, right? When they did that tour in like 2009 to 2014 or whatever, they only played David Lee Roth songs. Like, to me, that's the way to do it. Yeah, they had a whole nother career with the Van Hagar stuff, but Diamond Dave's voice was already struggling. And so if you're going to have him try to play some Right Now or like, it just would have felt weird. You know what I'm saying? Oh, John's here? Yeah, John.
Yeah, it is interesting because you're right, man. Some bands and people in the comment section are right. Some bands can pull it off. They can. I mean,
yeah, Patrick's right. I mean, Ronnie James Dio gave him an extension of that band's life without Ozzy. I agree with that. But it's also different. You know what I mean? Like, is Ronnie James Dio singing Iron Man? Is that really how you picture
Concert Buddy, I would have been okay if David Lee Roth sang Right Here, Right Now, or even Pound Cake. No. I would have been okay with
that. Yeah, that's a good one. Phil Collins with Genesis. They became more commercially successful with Phil Collins.
That's true. Yeah, sometimes it's that change that takes you up to the next level when you're Left for Dead and then you get that new creative energy wherever it comes from and, get the guy. I mean, the story is old as time. Drummer sits at the back of the kit waiting for his opportunity, and then once he gets it, he crushes it.
So I'm going to mess this up because I just don't. I think the guy's name is Mikey Thomas. Somebody kill me in the comment section, but Mickey or Mikey Thomas. So Starship, right? Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship chronology. My dad was an airplane guy. Everything was Gray Slick. If it's not Gray Slick, it's not Jefferson anything. But my favorite tunes, honestly, as much as I like Surrealistic Pillow and that stuff, is Mikey Thomas when they did that little era in the 80s where he did some of those songs, man, like Jane and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What a great voice. And those tunes are good. Yes, they're pop songs, but I love those songs. He's one of my favorite pop singers. But that's another one where there's people that are like, if it's not Gray Slick, it's not Jefferson Airplane. But I don't know, man.
Didn't he also do this? This is the cheesy section. I can hear my dog. Didn't Mickey Thomas do that bad Mel Torme Dream a Little Dream?
Sorry, I got that wrong, man. I've never heard anybody say his name. So Mickey.
Oh, Thomas. No. So there was that movie with the Coreys, Dream a Little Dream. And there's Mickey Thomas. That's where I think the name is. And he did the Mel Torme, Dream a Little Dream. Anyway, sorry. That's what I think of. Cornball alert. Owning it right there.
Oh, you're in good company. All right, we got any more going around the horn? What do you got, Jason? You got another a record that when you're in the mood for it, what's the mood? What's the title?
I'm more of in a chill mood right now, and no one has shown any jazz records, so I will show Nina Simone.
Ooh, okay.
Right? Little Girl
coming
Blue. This is again, I believe, a live recording. Mood Indigo, Don't Smoke in Bed. I mean, this whole record is perfect. Smoky jazz, great piano playing. I mean,
Is that a Michael Fremer recommendation on that pressing? It looks like
I don't know.
Stereo.
Yeah, but this is the
Early
stereo. I
press.
have like the mono somewhere. The stereo is just the one that's
I think it's
local
supposed
here.
to be. I don't know which pressing, but the early stereos I think are supposed to be the ones according to Mr. Fremer.
They're okay. I don't know. Like, because I have that expensive AP one, and it sounds closer to what this is actually. This original Bethlehem. I
Yeah.
think this is what came out in what 58, 59. But I love Zoo Porgy. That is just the key track. You know, you want to hear like emotion, like moody piano playing. Like this is it. You know. I don't know. Is this really Fremer's favorite? Really? Interesting.
I think it was Fremer that talked about it. Might have just been an offhand.
I mean, we
thing.
could ask him. Let's ask him. You know,
Fremer, where are you? Is he in the
line one? Hang on.
Fremer.
Yeah, Fremer. Which one is it?
He says it's the one.
He's so silly. Look how silly he is. How is his hand smaller than his head? That's when it's that far out in front. Wow.
Well,
Camera adds 10 pounds. Is that
Okay.
what happened?
I mean, it only gets better when you see the vinyl, I suppose, right?
And by the way,
Whoa.
Michael Fremer, if you ever do see this, I love you. I really do.
No, he will never see this. He doesn't wade in these waters, and that's okay.
I mean, look at this.
No, it's not, Chance.
All right, I have enough. I've had a good time showing this record now.
We get it.
Put it back in the deep sleep where it belongs.
I know.
You slab it. I mean, here's some slabbing is the topic du jour. We could slab that, and you could display it on your mantle. What a talking piece.
I would get it signed before I get it slabbed. How about that?
Fair
enough.
Yeah. Well, there's various reasons why you wouldn't want to spin a vinyl. One is it's sealed. The other one is that record.
Fair.
All right, let me show you. I'm going to go through the last few that I have as well. So one is just a killer album. If I just want to listen to fantastic music, if I just want to have a good time, again, if I want to dance around like a Zappa head, I will put this on. This is two of the best slabs of wax, whatever you want to call it, that you will ever listen to. Promotional copy, of course, on Discreet.
What's the title of that one, Jason?
Roxy and Elsewhere. Roxy and Elsewhere, Zappa and the Mothers. What an album, man. I mean, I'm a huge Zappa head, but it's just so great, man. It's just got everything on here. It's got overdubs, but it's still just some of the best playing you will ever hear. It's funny, it's clever, it's great, man. There's going to be parts on here that are just so detailed and some of the best jazz you will ever hear. Just in the sense of like, it's I don't know, the playing is just 11 out of 10. But anyway, love this one. So I want to spin something great that sounds great, you know, and I just want to kind of sit in awe of someone's playing because, you know, Zappa's guitar playing is second to none also. And then these go all the way back to when I'm in the crib. On the day I came home from the hospital, this was spinning and we got Europe 72 and a little Grateful Dead, both live album. 5 discs of just everything you want, traditional rock and roll, Americana, little wharf rattle, bring a tear to your eye. Rest in peace, Jerry. Boom. Jerry. I'm that kind of deadhead. I love these records. So yeah, when I want to think about my parents, may they rest in peace, I put those on because there was a lot of Grateful Dead in our house. So love those albums. Everyone's so quiet, man. What is wrong with my picks?
No,
I'm sorry I'm not showing you Radiohead or AC/DC.
No way, no. That was like the live Dead that you showed. Like Tennessee Jet is on that. I love that
Yep.
song. You know.
Jason's my drops on this, dude. That would have been perfect. Sorry.
I love the try. It's better that they're not apropos.
There you go. There you go. Was that me? I don't know who that was. What a delight.
All right. Who's next? Concert Buddy, you got a whole stack of them right next to you.
Oh no, I just grabbed those ones, man. I'm kind of well. Can I tell a sad story?
I wish you would.
I'm going to tell you a sad story because you see this album. I'm going to have to frame it, and here's why. Look at this.
Oh no, Red Sonja.
Red Sonja soundtrack. Look how this jacket is delightful.
Back cover, man.
Look at those triceps. Holy shit.
I always thought it was funny. Like Schwarzenegger is bigger than Red Sonja. Like that speaks volume.
Yeah.
You
know? I think he got. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure he got paid more to be the supporting than she did in the lead. But you know, this is such a really fun soundtrack because you've got Ennio Morricone behind this one. Anyway, so the sad story is you may be able to say this is not X-rated, but there's nothing underneath the drawers here. And that's because this was one of my mail fails.
Ooh.
Because the guy packed this in what kind of Jason Spins, what's my favorite box to ship records in? Oh, come on.
Oh, wait,
the Uline
yeah.
mailer. The Uline mailer. The
Uline.
The white Uline mailer, the worst box to ship records. And that's what this gentleman shipped this in. And when I was amazed that there was no corner dings. It survived. But then when I opened it up, and the record was literally broken in half. And it was a sad day in the Concert Buddy household because look at this. I mean, this artwork is just, this makes me just want to go grab a pair of dumbbells and start smashing stuff. Brigitte Nielsen, probably her best role right after Ivan Drago's wife in Rocky IV. This is probably better because she was with a sword. I mean, redheaded Brigitte Nielsen with a sword, probably greater than Red Sonja or Ivan Drago's wife. But yeah,
wow, I forgot she was in Rocky IV.
Yeah, well, remember you forgot that she was married to Stallone, and Stallone was the one getting her all these roles. I think the reason that he wanted to meet her out of this movie is because him and Arnold had that rivalry, right? The action hero rivalry of the 80s. And this art is just amazing. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this because obviously, what am I going to go find a loose Red Sonja record? They're not going to have those at Savers. But this is just a tremendous piece of art. So it just sits here and reminds me of the sadness.
You can't let that go, man. That's
that's what I mean. And what am I going to do with that? I mean, I don't know. Jasmine's Chris may be right though. Her best role was sitting on Flavor Flav's lap. That was true with the Surreal Life. That was a return to form for several
real life.
actors.
Oh man,
you remember that? I mean, he had like the immortal Gabrielle Carteris from 90210 and Flavor Flav, obviously, and Brigitte. Just thinking about those two hooking up makes me want to throw up.
Flavor. What was that? His show was called Flavor of Love, right?
Yeah, VH1 spun off them on the Surreal Life and gave Flavor Flav, and that's where he met Tiffany Pollard. Tiffany Pollard, known as New York. And I believe that she won his heart on that show. And then magically, that relationship didn't work out. So then they spun her off to a dating show to find her. So see how this works? It's very incestuous.
Oh, yeah.
But nothing compares, guys. And I think you'll agree to this, to perhaps the greatest dating love game show of all time. You know which one I'm talking about. Was on VH1. Oh, no dead air. Come on, guys. Rock of Love, Bret Michaels. They did it for 3 seasons. Three seasons of this. You had 3 seasons of at least 10 episodes of him trying to hide his receding hairline with a giant bandana. Like nobody has a bandana that's 7 inches thick. No one. Not even like Howie Mandel. So
some of those bus parties, man.
All right, I went to get some more records.
Arnaldo, yes.
Okay.
I can only hold the show at VH1 trivia for so long, Arnaldo. Thank you.
All right.
I want to see a tear, Arnaldo. Come on, man.
Another summer record that I love to spin is Talking Heads
nice.
Speaking in Tongues.
Sorry, man. Chance, now that I know these are here,
I've infected him with the drops.
that's a great album, man.
This was done right after Tom Tom Club, so you could hear more of the influence that
Sure, the couple.
This must be the
Tina
place.
Weymouth and Chris France had from Tom Tom Club. Like, it's more evident on the first album right after that. And then you have the one that came before it, which was like, of course, very Eno influence. This is still one of my go-to favorite Talking Heads records, Remain in Light. I think this one came immediately before Speaking in Tongues, right? Yeah, I think it was, yes.
I think so, yeah.
Totally different albums, but they're both great for different reasons, I think. And Tina Weymouth, I think, is probably one of the most underappreciated bass players of all time. I think she's just fantastic. Like, Talking Heads would not be the same without her.
Yeah.
Would not have been the same. And then I find that I can listen to Sade anytime.
Oh, yeah.
Whichever album, it's just,
Sweetest Taboo, man.
So, yeah, I mean, I usually tend to go back to the first one more than all of them, but she's timeless. I don't think her music, do you guys agree? It doesn't really sound that dated or, that, yeah, probably you'll say, yeah, of course, she's tied to the 80s, but it's still very sophisticated and classy, never really goes out of style, right? So
You're right. A lot of that stuff, even as good as it is, it's very 80s. But with Sade, yeah, it's kind of timeless.
that's all I got for now.
That's it? Okay. We're just going to look
Well,
at your
Sade, listen, I'm sure Sade is some of the best music if you really want to get to
Yeah,
know
and I was
somebody.
flexing, by the way, Chance. I do have hype stickers on mine.
No,
Okay.
listen, that's beautiful.
Right?
That's a beautiful thing. And you know what's interesting is that used to be talking about what we were talking about earlier, $5-10 records all day. For the longest time, those early Sade records were in that wheelhouse. I'm not saying anybody needs to go to dustygroove.com, even though they're a great site and store, but they're trying to get $20, and I think they're getting it. It's a $20 record now, so it's literally
They are, yeah.
In the last 3 to 5 years, it's doubled in price. It's wild, and that's on top of, remember, like 2 years ago they did the box set. They did the Sade.
And now they're finally doing the breakouts.
The singles, yeah, they're doing the singles, yeah. Soldier of Love, I got that at actually Jason knows a store. What's the one your friend has in Columbus? I can't remember the name. A Spoonful. Spoonful broke open the box set, and I bought one there a couple years ago.
Oh,
isn't that your Jason? Isn't that your friend who has Spoonful Records in Columbus? Am I thinking the right store? Oh, you're on mute.
That's my old roommate Brett. So,
okay, there it is. I knew there was a connection there somewhere. Yeah.
You didn't drop my name, right? And then he was like, "Man,
I don't think I knew you at the time. No. This was no. I don't play that card unless I really feel comfortable about it. And if you would feel comfortable about it, so don't worry. I just go in with a giant Concert Buddy T-shirt, and they're usually like, "Oh, you're that guy from those parody videos." I'm like, yeah.
Oh no. I think next time you're in Columbus, you just tell Brett, and like he'll treat you right.
Hold on, say that again. You're that guy from the parody videos?
Oh, I am. Yeah, in the flesh. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Spins, you can't do that. I'm a highly sensitive alpha male who, my next step in my evolution is I'm going to start wearing pajama tops. Like, I'm going to go to my local Walmart and get like they have band tees, but they also have like those pajama tops. So as a grown man,
or something.
Well, no, there's people who do that apparently, and they wear them as actually out leisure wear. They think it's a good idea to wear your pajama tops and out in public or out in.
Well, also pajama bottoms they wear out.
I don't know what I don't. Yeah, well, that's the children. The children that wear the Crocs.
No, I see pajama bottoms. I see adults.
No, oh no, it's happening. Oh,
I see adult men at the mall in Long Island suburbs, walking around the mall in pajama bottoms.
What happened to this country of ours, guys? I mean, I'm not trying to, get into the topic of masculinity and what that means, but at least dress like an adult.
Well, I think pajama bottoms have now replaced sweatpants.
Oh.
I guess. I don't know, man. Pajamas are just jammies. Like if you're a grown up, like I don't know, man. I just have a real challenging time when I see these older people, and older I mean like our age or younger. Yeah, Jeff's got it. I don't even understand clothes. Yeah, you're right. But just the fact that
Where do you draw the line? Are you allowed to take your dog out to like do its business in pajama bottoms?
Listen, yeah, man. Listen, I think if you're near the home, or if you're just running to the gas station to get a pack of smokes or something, no judgment. But no, if you're out
I don't go out in loungewear. I'm sorry.
Right, yeah, but not my move. But I don't judge. Here's where the judgment factory comes in. Is if I go out to eat to a pub or somewhere else, and I see these people, these grown men wearing their pajama top, jammy top guys. They got their Richard S. I had a parent drop his kids off at school every day wearing Ninja Turtle pajamas.
Hey, at least it was Ninja Turtles, man. Ninja Turtles are cool.
So I don't know about you guys. I live in New York, right? And we have the corner deli, the bodega,
sure,
which is open 24 hours. There's you'll find them every 3 or 4 blocks. You need milk, you need water, or people need cigarettes or whatever. They're usually open very late. And even when I go to the corner deli, I will not be caught with loungewear.
I hear you. I mean, I tried, guys. I know I'm coming off like old man corner right now, but like yelling at clouds. But again, like I'm telling you, it started with these Croc shoes. Because actually,
I have a pair of Crocs.
Oh no, Arnaldo!
I do.
Oh no!
I have a pair of Crocs.
You have to take back everything you just said, Arnaldo.
Oh no!
They're cool because the accessories, the little pins that you put on them.
Arnaldo, don't tell me this. Don't tell me this.
I'll bring them on the next stream, and I will show you the accessories I have.
All right, we want the full body camera.
I will. Those I will wear to the corner deli.
Well, right. I think here's where this all started.
I will not go to the mall with them, but I will go to the corner deli.
As you guys know, I used to work for the biggest sportswear company in the world. And I hate to say it, but slides is where this started. When people would start wearing slides, like sliding sandals, which they started in soccer. That's what people take their cleats off and then put on slides after practice. People started wearing those as perfunctory. Yeah, see, there you go.
These are Adidas. Sorry.
Oh God!
There you go, Arnaldo. At least he has taste in his brands.
Oh my God! No. Arnaldo, you're killing me. You're killing me, man. I gotta go to the hospital. After this one. But no, it started with slides, and then slides became perfunctory footwear, and then Crocs started. And Crocs, I think, if I'm not mistaken, started. Well, this is true. It did start when women started wearing pants, Chris. But no. But then Crocs started actually in the medical industry because nurses would wear them, right? Out and expanded it and all that kind of stuff. And so here we are. It's the evolution. It started there. It's kind of like the caveman, right? And now it started with Crocs, and now it's this pajama situation. I don't know where else can it go.
Crocs were the gateway drug.
Crocs were like the part where the evolutionary started standing up, and now you're a pajama top man and the pajama bottom people at the restaurants. Like, hey, you go to a bar,
pajama people.
I mean, it's the.
And we go full circle with Frank Zappa. Thank you.
But then what else is there? What else is there outside of stark nudity, which I don't think any of us is ready for? But outside of pajamas, like Arnaldo said, sweatpants maybe come back, but athleisure wear has been around for a while. So sorry, I'm yelling at clouds.
What is your lounge wear? Not that I want to get too personal or anything, but when you're sitting around the house, are you wearing a pair of slacks, a pair of jeans? Are you going shorts, sweats, pajama bottom? How are you chilling at home?
Canadian tuxedo, guys. I mean, denim on the top, denim on the bottom. Denim vest, like kind of like Roadhouse. I mean, the whole thing.
Come on, dude.
No, we call it a Jersey tuxedo. Sorry.
No. If I'm just chilling, I mean, right now, you guys would make fun of me because my usual uniform is a black T-shirt and cargo shorts these days. But I'm old school. Like I played basketball back in the day. I've got my basketball shorts. That's usually what I'll kind of just be chilling out in, and a T-shirt. I mean, I'm not picky, but I'm not jammy top guy. I tell you that right
cozy
now.
at home.
Well, Catherine brought up a very interesting, and I don't know if this is exact. If this is what she meant. All right, so it's
socks with
okay.
sandlers. Oh,
I
boy.
know the sandals and the guys with tube socks. I see that a lot at malls too.
With the stripes on the socks too, Arnaldo?
no.
With or without.
Oh no, Jason hit me where it hurts. He just hit me where it hurts. Oh man.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, you got to go stripes.
I mean, yeah, because that makes you look even worse.
And don't get me started with guys at the beach in basketball shorts. You know which ones I'm talking about. Kind of like the shiny, stretchy.
Yes,
ones.
the sheeny ones. Yeah.
Thank you. And then underneath, underwear. So I'm like, you're so cheap that you can't buy a swimsuit, a pair of swim trunks.
Hey, Jason, when you sent out the email about the show notes, you didn't talk about fashion faux pas. Can we bring that? Can this be a regular segment? Because I was just thinking about one person in particular.
Hey, as soon as it goes over 2 hours, the gloves come off, man. It's just all things go.
Fair enough. That's why it's the freestyle. That makes a lot of sense.
I like Chris says, hey, if you don't wear socks with them, man, they start to reek.
This started, where that started is people were wearing Birkenstocks, sandals with the socks. You know what I'm saying? That's where that whole thing started, and then I don't know.
Well, I know, and this is not to disparage any age group. I know that elderly people started that trend of wearing the Birkenstocks with the socks.
Yeah, they're support socks. You know why? Because they lose circulation in their feet, and they need. Yeah, I mean that's a medical condition. That makes complete sense.
They started that I made it acceptable.
Why are 35-year-old men wearing this?
You never know where a trend might come from.
35, they're like 18, and they're walking around with tube socks and sandals. Oh man. So
we've officially pointed our flag in Old Island. So there we go. Oh, Jasmine Chris is bringing the Birkenstocks. Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, what do you think, Concert Buddy, man? Now that you're here, I want to
I gotta get back to my shop. I probably lost my job at the record store at this point, so I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go start my Grubhub career off with a bang.
Hey, well, you got the job with the record store too, man. If it doesn't work out with the
no, I think I'm gonna get fired. This is the longest poop break they've probably ever had on record, so I don't think I'll be welcome back. I still have the key, the key with the long stick.
You don't want to lose
a brick and a key. Yeah, whoops. This is coming home with me, bitches. Sorry.
It's like the bathroom key. You're not stealing that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. I appreciate you. Chance, thanks for jumping in, saving us from ourselves. And everyone that joined today. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for being active in the comments, man. The show's always better when you are. So, all right, we're going to call it, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Chance, we'll see you next Thursday on the A side.
A side up.
And then we'll get crazy again the following Thursday. So, all right, guys. Arnaldo, Deep Thought, Concert Buddy, thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
Take care, guys.
Everyone else, we will see you in a week.
Have a good night.
Later, Gators.